Antonio, Texas, and we're not quite done yet. Meanwhile, in New Mexico, San Antonito picked up 12 inches of snow. And I found a very interesting little point here. We're in Albuquerque here. Here's Albuquerque down in the valley. That's the Rio Grande River going right through Albuquerque. And then on the other side of these mountains, the Sandia Mountains out to the east, we had the highest snowfall total thus far from Iola, 16 inches south of Edgewood, New Mexico. On the upslope, given the wind direction, the upslope side of these mountains, 16 inches. 20 miles away in Albuquerque, on the downslope side, 1.1 inches. Rising air, higher precipitation. Sinking air, a desert, a snow desert in this case. Alex, back to you.
How cool is that? I always love to see the things we learn about in the classroom show up on the screen. Well, heavy snow, the kind we saw in the Texas Panhandle and New Mexico, can pose a threat, especially to your home. Meteorologist Mark Elliott takes a look at the weight of snow in a way you've never seen before.
Typically, when you think about snow, you describe it as light or powdery or fluffy. In fact, we all know that just one snowflake weighs next to nothing. But when a lot of snowflakes come down, well, now you're talking about a weight that really adds up. So let's start off with a chore that most people dread during the winter, shoveling this wet, heavy snow. Each year, on average, more than 11,000 people go to the hospital because of injuries suffered while shoveling snow. And when things get covered in this much snow, that's when it can get even more dangerous. Standing inside this room, you wouldn't think I'd have any problems because of snow accumulation, but right above my head, that's where the real danger lies. A cubic foot of snow can weigh around 7 pounds if the snow is dry and fluffy, but could weigh over 20 pounds if it is wet and compacted. Now, 2 feet of snow over this entire roof would weigh 150,000 pounds. The weight above this room alone is the equivalent of 3 full-size grand pianos. That's enough weight to have the roof cave in, and that's why it's so important to remove the snow. And it's not just the flat roofs you have to watch out for. Pitched roofs can accumulate snow as well. Just look at this roof behind me. You get 2 feet of snow up there, and it's the equivalent of 9 heavy-duty pickup trucks on top of the roof. And when that amount of snow starts to slide, it can easily damage or destroy anything in its path. And that's why we tell you to watch out for those snow-covered roofs. Finally, when it comes to describing that sheer force of the weight of snow, nothing describes it more than the power of an avalanche. A typical avalanche can roll downhill at more than 60 miles per hour, bringing with it a wall of snow, ice, and other debris. And once it's rolling downhill, there is nothing that will stop that force from destroying anything in its path. Unfortunately, once those avalanche conditions are in place, it doesn't take much to trigger the event. Some more snow, rain, thunder, even a skier can bring down that avalanche. So next time you're watching those flurries weightlessly fluttering down to earth, remember, if you get too many of those flurries in one place, you can have massive problems. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Mark Elliott.
How cool was that? Another thing where when you see the visuals, you really get an idea of what we're talking about when we talk about snow on a roof or an avalanche. Well, right now we're going to talk about thunderstorms because there is the chance for some of those as we get into our Friday and Friday evening. Tomorrow, watch for spotty damaging winds and hail from Mobile to Dothan to Panama City and over towards Tallahassee. Now by Friday night, Tallahassee to Tampa, Jacksonville, Florida, Savannah, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, all the way up towards Cape Hatteras, all going to be under that threat for spotty damaging winds and also spotty hail. As far as rainfall goes, this is what we're looking for. 2 to 3 inches in that darkest area. Much of the south, though, 1 to 2. We'll be right back.
Imagine yourself exploring the mysteries of Machu Picchu, dining at the Eiffel Tower, or staying at the Fairmont Lake Louise in the Canadian Rockies. Across all 7 continents, Colette's guided tours take you places others only dream about.
I love Colette because they arrange everything for me. All I have to do is sit back and enjoy.
Marvel at iconic landmarks. Savor delicious meals. Come to know new cultures and make new friends. Along the way, enjoy immersive itineraries featuring experiences you can only find with Colette. Whether you're in the America West, discovering New Zealand, or walking on the Great Wall, you'll be traveling with one of our professional tour managers. All you have to do is embrace the adventure. To order your free brochure, call 855-714-8687. Experience the best in guided travel. 855-714-8687.
Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Starting Monday, Jim Cantori joins Sam Champion and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here, and that's just Sam.
Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 69. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 80. Winds south-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy skies during the evening will give way to cloudy skies overnight, low 70. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Curling up in bed with a favorite book is nice, but I think women would rather curl up with their favorite man. But here's the thing. About half of men over 40 have some degree of erectile dysfunction. Well, Viagra helps guys with ED get and keep an erection. And remember, you only take it when you need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
Do you have something for pain?
I have Bayer aspirin.
I'm not having a heart attack. It's my back.
I mean Bayer Back and Body. It works great for pain.
Bayer Back and Body provides effective relief for your tough pain.
Better?
Yeah. Thanks for the tip.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
Think you have the fastest internet? Think again. This is Xfinity. This is your current internet provider.
Which do you think is going to download faster?
I'm going to go with what I know. Ready? Yes. Download.
Well,
Xfinity is way faster.
That's not even fair. And we're done. I'm going to go.
I may have to switch to Xfinity.
Get even more of the speed you need with Xfinity Internet from Comcast. Upgrade to get speeds up to 50 megabits per second for just $10 more a month for 12 months. See for yourself. Call or go online today.
There is something in the people, something in the sand, there's something in the air, something in the water, something in the night. It's called All Right, and it's something you can only find here. Jamaica, home of All Right.
Told the house they would take better care of her. Always.
Protect what matters. Get flood insurance.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Well, winter weather update time, and once again, I got to join Storm Tracker Jim Cantore right in the lab. This is where the action happens.
Love that blue dress, by the way.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just see Alex and Dave start out in the other studio.
Right.
We're out here in the lab.
Dave also rocking the blue today, so you'll get to see him next hour. We always try to match like prom dates.
That's nice.
Kind of.
Yeah, we do that.
He's good.
He's very good.
He's a guy.
Check
Thank
this
you,
out.
though.
Yeah, you look lovely, Dylan. That's the bottom line. Amarillo, 15.5 season total. Go back into November and add up, not just meteorological winter. And as you can see, it totally just crushes what we've seen in the major metro areas of the Northeast. You could even put Washington's 5.6 inches in there. Still
and
crushes
still,
it.
Amarillo's
Still
like, we got you, no problem.
So, yeah, we got you covered in through here. So what's going to happen here as we go on in time? Let's go ahead and take a look. Obviously, our storm is starting to get underway nicely here. Low pressure system in the western Gulf of Mexico right here. That's going to be the player as it works its way on off toward the northeast. Still got some snow flying back here with the upper level energy. So folks in El Paso and Amarillo, I can't believe that. Yeah. A foot of snow in Amarillo, Texas. 13 inches for the storm. I think 4th all time in terms of snowfall in a single day. So there you go. Big trough, sinking air on the west side, rising air motion on the east side. Classic. Classic Alex Wilson. And that jet stream's going to come rolling around here and allow this thing to push on off toward the east. Here's what it looks like from some of the models that we look at. Here's the lift. Here's the best lift of this thing on the back side of it. So watch where that jet goes, and it's going to take its time to curl all the way around. Forbes is in to talk about what could happen on the east side when a piece of that jet stream comes rolling across with the surface low. Give us a couple of ingredients for maybe some severe weather there along the warm front. So there that is. You see that kind of crossing over as we work our way through Saturday. But then that spin just makes its way right up the east coast and really helps to develop a strong surface low that's going to push right up through Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. So
right, because we talked about yesterday too, the trough itself, that orientation begins to swing to more of that, you know, the weather nerds, negative tilt, for folks watching, just northwest to southeast.
Yeah, you know what? That kind of reminds me. There may be a better way to describe that. So what we mean by negative tilt is that's a positive tilt trough. That's the one that goes through the flow from northeast to southwest orientation, but northwest to southeast. A lot better lift on the eastern side of this. All right, a lot better lift, a lot more energy involved in that, and that means, unfortunately, a pretty deep low pressure system. The good news is it's not going to be just sitting there over the northeast. This little wave, which is positive tilt and weaker, is going to be our next Klippa, which makes its way on off toward the south.
That's what they call them in Boston.
Klippas, absolutely. You know, this is really kind of a weird storm because if we had about 1,040 millibar high, big high pressure system to our west, this would be a blizzard. Yeah. Okay, in parts of the northeast. We'd have the cold air, A, and B, we'd have the gradient. So between a deep, deep low and that strong high, you would just have wind galore here. This would be really shutting down the northeast, if you will.
Right, because you're talking about snow, and then that snow just blowing everywhere. And you know blizzards, you know visibility. You can't do much of anything.
Instead, this is going to be like a big, big ship that's going to go through a river. There'll be a little bit of a wake, essentially right along the shoreline. And that's where our biggest wind's going to be. I think it's going to be out in the Cape, in the islands, that we'll see our strongest gusts. Those are sustained winds. We'll probably gust over 50 miles per hour. And once this gets up to Nova Scotia, you don't need the high. It's going to be a deep low pressure system. It's going to be like a Category 1 hurricane. So here we go. Winter storm Iola will produce a mixture of rain and snow up through Nashville. They started to put out the advisories, Alex, and through here across western parts of Virginia into western North Carolina as well. Not surprising. And here we go on Saturday. Our lows deepening off the coast. Again, no winter storm watches yet for Boston, but it's that interior area that could get really interesting in terms of the snowfall. Are we going to get 7 inches? Are we going to see some banding that sets up that gives us a heavier snow total? That's really the game right now. The good news is it's a Saturday.
Right.
It is not a Monday morning. It is not a Monday evening.
Yes.
All right. So we'll see what happens after that. Here's our official forecast from the Weather Channel. The only thing we're going to keep an eye on is right in here. If we are confident that we see banding setting up, we'll beef up those snowfall totals in there. Right now, Taunton, the Weather Service is going for 4 to 7. We're going for 3 to 5. So not a huge difference there. It's just the devil's in the details. So there goes that low. Here comes the Klippa driving its way to the east. The GFS model really makes this a big deal. Cold air is in place. Now we got a system that's coming through on a Monday morning, so get ready for some snowfall. Chicago anticipates some snow maybe as early as Saturday night, even though I think it'll be more of a Sunday event for you. Passing on off toward the east, but D.C., Baltimore, Philly, and New York. Monday morning could be interesting.
All right, thank you, Jim. Dave, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Alex and Jim. Well, Winter Storm Iola first made itself known as far west as Arizona. Then further east in New Mexico and West Texas, it produced heavy snow, up to a foot or more. But it's not done yet. Where snow is possible in Texas today and where it's headed next.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 69. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 80. Winds south-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy skies during the evening will give way to cloudy skies overnight, low 70. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Natural sound, as we call it. Man!
Right. Imagine having your head outside of that car. You'd be frozen.
Oh, the wind just whipping in Amarillo, Texas overnight as Winter Storm Iola blew into town. And people woke up to a slushy mess there, up to a foot of wet snow in the Texas Panhandle across New Mexico. And this is just the beginning of Iola.
That's right. It's got its sights set on the East Coast this weekend. And we expect it to get a lot stronger as it gets there. Now, this is how much snow we could get. But there's still a lot of big questions that need to be answered today that may have a big impact on this map and your world. Philadelphia, New York, Boston. Hey, thanks for joining us on Weather Center Live. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Here's the big point with Winter Storm Iola. Timing is everything. And we know there's a potential for heavy snow along the eastern seaboard, but the big question is how much cold air is going to be there, and will it be cold enough to get that snow?
I know, that's kind of the one thing we're missing.
Yeah.
You know, is the super cold air and the big high and the strong. Well, Jim Cantore shows you the ingredients coming up.
I was just going to say, it's almost like an ingredients list when you're trying to bake a cake, but we're missing that one. It's like when you're
hungry. You need to get a snack. You know, right now, most of the Winter Storm Iola is in the warm air, so we got a lot of heavy rain on the radar in East Texas, but in West Texas, there's your rain snow line. Midland 34 with snow, Fort Stockton 32 with snow, even El Paso and Ciudad Juarez with snow, temperatures in the low 30s.
Absolutely, and we're watching, you said, rain on the warm side of this system, perhaps even some thunderstorms into tomorrow. And we've got Dr. Greg Forbes here. He'll be talking about that shortly. But, you know, speaking of storms, it was thunder snow yesterday that caught a lot of people by surprise. Check this out. Well, I guess we're not going to show it to you.
Well, he is Mr. Thunder.
Jim
Cantore.
That's true. I did just introduce thunder snow. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Not quite the same thing.
No, it was still pretty awesome. There it is.
Oh, baby. Listen to that power.
Whoa. And that's in the house.
She said it. That's in the house.
Yeah, that was in the house. Oof. Isn't it amazing the way that the camera picks up the light? Just kind of spreads it out, gives it that pink purple look. Wow.
Beautiful. A lot can happen in 88 feet.
Oh. Very good, Dave. A lot can happen in 88 feet.
He's been waiting
a lot
to
can
use
happen
that.
in 100th of a second, as you probably saw there.
Yeah.
Schwartzy, you can fill in for me next time. By the way, that pinstripe suit, is there any way we can get a close-up of that? I mean, how wide is that stripe, Dave? A half inch, inch?
Hang on.
What do we got
about
here?
my finger.
This is about
2 fingers.
about 5/8.
That's
about 5/8.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Just gorgeous.
Sports on sports.
Yeah.
And pinstripes.
Sharp-dressed man right there. You can't beat that. Let's talk about what we got. What's interesting about the advisory map, first of all, is the two areas where we could have most of the problems now have advisories. These are winter storm watches out for parts of interior New England, and these are winter weather advisories here for the whole crock of guacamole. I mean, we're talking everything down here. Freezing rain, sleet, and snow. We're going to get it all. The advisories to the south are for Friday into about noon Saturday. These go through 11 p.m. again, these are winter storm watches, which obviously could get upgraded. So Hartford's in this, Springfield's in it, Fitchburg, Lawrence, Worcester, not Boston yet, not Providence yet. We'll see, again, as confidence grows and the computer models come in, especially some of the high-resolution models get a little bit better. We'll see what happens there. Houston's dealt with some rain. I'm going to let Forbes deal with the severe weather side of this. This is a heck of a trough of low pressure. You can see it beautifully on the satellite here, just carved out like a Thanksgiving turkey. Ascent on the eastern side, in other words, rising air motion, sinking air motion on the west side, showing up very nicely on the water vapor imagery today. So here goes this jet and this positively tilted trough. So it's coming through as a wave like this, but all of a sudden, the bottom side of this, being the stronger jet, is going to swing this trough axis, which is this thing, around in a negative tilt. Of course, on the eastern side of that, you only increase the ascent. You allow for the low pressure system at the surface to really develop and bomb out, and that's exactly what's going to be going on here Saturday at 3 o'clock as this low then takes off and heads up toward Nova Scotia. So a different orientation to the jet stream, but one that actually increases the eastern ascent on a trough of low pressure system. So it will be awesome to watch that low develop off the coast on visible infrared and water vapor imagery. And there's what it looks like on the surface. As that trough goes negative tilt, look at that low. Kaboom! You go from 1,004 to 975, well past the criteria for what we call a meteorological bomb. And then this thing heads up toward Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and just keeps on cranking. And it will be quite stormy, even without a surface high-pressure system for our friends up there in eastern Canada. And by the way, there's the next Clipper system. So here we go. Tomorrow, as the low and the upper trough works its way to the east, there's going to be some cooling in the air column over Tennessee and Kentucky, so our rain should change over to snow. Not a lot. Not a lot. Not until, anyway, we get into the hills of Tennessee, western North Carolina, western Virginia, and West Virginia. Then it gets tricky probably tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. And then, as we work our way in towards Saturday night, our low-pressure system also making its way up toward Boston. And just offshore here. And that's when we'll probably watch some of the most interesting parts of this, because as this low is passing by, does it start to develop any banding features with it? You'll see that on the radar. And these are things that we look for in intense cyclones. And if we start to see this banding, that 4 to 7 inches or that 3 to 5 inches, whoever's forecasting, we're talking about we could easily get, another 3 to 5 on top of that just because of the banding. So that's something we're going to watch out for. Please avoid this area certainly Saturday night in case those features, develop. That could mean a whole mess for a lot of people. That could be a crippling type snow, 2, 3, maybe 4 inches an hour. So here's the Weather Channel forecast, looking at 5 to 8 inches, possibly for down east Maine. If we are seeing a confidence in increasing the snow totals there, we will add it to it. But as you can see, everybody else, New York, Philly, and D.C. D.C. not out of this, but the northern suburbs are, down through western Virginia, generally looking at anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow. So some tricky travel, guys, coming up Friday night, first of all, starting in the southern Appalachians, and then all the way through Saturday evening into southeastern New England. Back to you.
And as Jim mentioned, there's another side to Winter Storm Iola that you need to be aware of, and that's the severe side.
Sure. We'll show you how a winter storm could produce severe thunderstorms like these and where they're going to occur. Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes will join you next.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. Here we go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
Earning unlimited cash back on purchases, that's a win. But imagine earning it twice. Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It lets you earn cash back twice. Once when you buy, and again as you pay. It's cash back, then cash back again. And that's a cash back win-win. The Citi Double Cash Card. The only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase. With 1% when you buy, and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Away.
is the crackle of the campfire. It can be 1,000,000 years old or a few weeks young. A way beckons from Orion's belt. A way is a place that's closer than you think. Find your Away. For a dealer in the RV that's right for you, visit GoRVing.com.
Severe weather can strike anywhere, so the Weather Channel encourages you to get prepared for a weather emergency today. And we're making it easy for everyone. Go to connectwithweather.com. Follow the easy step-by-step instructions and create your own emergency plan. Connect with weather. Know the elements. Make your plan.
Current. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 69. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 80. Winds south-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy skies during the evening will give way to cloudy skies overnight, low 70. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori joins AMHQ starting Monday.
I was a single mom looking for a man, not only for myself, but for my son.
eHarmony, I think, is the only dating website that could bring something to me, the exact kind of person I was looking for.
Stop waiting. Start communicating for free today.
Heartburn. Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
The Chevrolet Malibu. Respected. Efficient. Safe. When you set out to find new roads, you become the most awarded car company of the year.
Right now, eligible competitive owners can trade up to this 2015 Chevy Malibu and get $3,000 total cash allowance.
Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Why do you want to shop Walmart's new selection of stylish frames? Because you need a surprisingly low price to match that surprising new look.
Oh, sorry. My ringtone.
The new frames and new styles you want are at the Walmart Vision Center, starting at $58. Walmart.
Let's take a live look now at Nolens. Rain from the wet side of Winter Storm Iola is moving in. Never necessarily a bad thing. If you've spent any time on Bourbon Street, you like to see the rain just kind of wash things off every once in a while.
Just for a brand new start. I think that's St. Peter Street, if I'm not
And Bourbon.
correct.
That's
and
the
Bourbon?
Cat's Meow, or I think right across the street. Yeah.
Oh,
See,
okay.
I know. Peyton, our producer, says karaoke bar.
Apparently you know a lot about the French Quarter, Alex.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Weather's going downhill in New Orleans.
It is.
We're 60 and cloudy right now. Here's the forecast for New Orleans. Staying mild this afternoon, but it's 50 right now up in Baton Rouge. Cool air's on the way, along with some very heavy rain and thunderstorms tonight.
Luckily, the jazz never stops. Bread pudding never stops, any of that. You just head into one of those jazz bars, you won't even know it's raining outside.
You must work for the Convention Bureau there.
I
or
should,
something, the
right?
Visitors Bureau.
I should. Hey, well, as Iola tracks off the Texas coast, it's going to produce the storms, the heavy rain that we've shown you in spots like New Orleans.
Yeah, and east of there, there's the threat for severe thunderstorms. Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes is here in the house, in the lab, to pinpoint the areas of greatest risk.
Thanks, Dave. And indeed, we will have thunderstorms, heavy rain, and even some severe thunderstorms on the warm side of Winter Storm Iola. That's courtesy of the Gulf of Mexico. It's pretty warm, but it has to replace some air initially that is starting out pretty cool and pretty dry. But that said, I think we'll have at least an isolated severe thunderstorm, maybe a tornado tomorrow from Mobile Bay across the Florida Panhandle, maybe a little bit of extreme southeast Alabama, extreme southwest Georgia. That's through evening, and then a little farther east as we go through the overnight hours. Here's where the situation is is right now. Surface low of Iola, just east now of Galveston, Texas. Warm front is down over the Gulf of Mexico. North of that, it's still pretty cool, pretty dry northeast flow there, those blue arrows. Temperatures are in the 50s. Dew points, a measure of the moisture in the air, in the 30s. So those will have to climb up to temperatures in the 60s, dew points in the 50s to make it enough for severe thunderstorms. And that will only happen as this warm front comes north. So I'll show you in a computer model coming up what the forecast is for that. Today, we've had a lot of heavy rain just behind that surface low across parts of areas like League City and south and west and south and east of Houston. That heavy rain now is moving up more toward Beaumont and Port Arthur. The flash flood warning we had in the parts of the Houston area has expired. Now, here's a computer model that shows that surface low in the warm front. Here's the surface low, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, just south and west of Mobile. Look at the color contrast here. You see the warmer colors in the golds in the 60s, still the 50s in the northeast flow and dry. And that warm front just barely creeps into southeast Alabama, southern Georgia. It gets across the Florida Panhandle. So these are the areas that might have a severe thunderstorm. By Friday night, that warmer air creeps into the eastern Carolinas, southeast Georgia. And then watch the frontal zone, the color contrast. Friday night into Saturday morning, all that front sweeps across Florida. So thunderstorm threat for Florida should be gone by Saturday afternoon. Cold pocket aloft, a little bit hanging back, tilted northeast to southwest, positively tilted, but that southern base comes charging eastbound, and Friday night might even then be getting into the area, gives a little extra lift for places like the eastern Carolinas, southeast Georgia, and then offshore will be the low forming and deepening rapidly from Iola. So Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday morning, even a chance of a severe thunderstorm into the overnight hours from Tampa up to Jacksonville and up into the eastern parts of the Carolinas. So after that, another few days, we'll have no severe weather threat. But in the meantime, stay safe. Alex?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Forbes. Want to track your travel impacts for Interstate 20. Notice Midland and off to the west of Abilene. That's where we have snow, a little wintry mix, but it's pretty much all showers for your late day commute through Dallas and Shreveport, Jackson. Shreveport to Jackson, a little better chance of steady rain through the evening. The heaviest rain down around and to the south of Jackson, where you see some of those deeper greens. That's where we're going to pick up the heavy rain later tonight, even through the overnight hours. Look steady to heavy rain, staying with spots along the Gulf Coast. In Birmingham, you'll have rain out there on the roads. We'll have much more on Iola next.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Oh no. Can you fix it, Dad?
Yeah, I can fix that. I wanted a car that could handle anything. I fixed it! That's why I got a Subaru Legacy.
Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 36 mpg.
I gotta break more toys.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
This is Veronica. Rhonda.
Robert.
She takes care of me. She takes care of me, the kids, the calendar, the dog, the house.
Actually, he takes care of the house.
You could say everything good in my life is possible because of Veronica.
Because of Robert.
She's irreplaceable. She's irreplaceable.
No one like him.
Life insurance? Do we need that?
There are over 32 million irreplaceable wives and husbands in this country without life insurance. Loved ones who could have coverage for less than $1 a day.
We'll make it easy. Call me at United of Omaha and I'll give you a quote in about a minute. A $100,000 policy is as little as $23.20 a month. No medical exam is needed. And you could have coverage in 3 days.
That's it? 3 days? 3 days.
And he's covered?
She's covered? And she's covered.
We pay 87% of life insurance claims within a week.
I'm calling now.
Mutual of Omaha. Insure your possibilities. Call today.
There was a time when the sea gave way to the sky, raising an amazing destination like no other. Atlantis. Discover amazing savings this winter. Stay 4 nights and receive a $250 airfare credit.
Atlantis.
Mondays at 9. The Weather Channel unearths the investigation.
This was a totally preventable accident.
The mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
And the final moments.
In 1 second, there felt...
There is something in the people. Something in the sand. There's something in the air. Something in the water. Something in the night. It's called All Right. And it's something you can only find here. Jamaica, home of All Right.
Imagine waking up every morning to a beautiful, lush, perfectly manicured lawn. You don't have to imagine anymore. Located in Jupiter, Synthetic Turf International is the global leader in synthetic landscape solutions, putting greens, and functional activity surfaces. And STI Jupiter was just chosen to provide and install the synthetic turf for the tailgate field next to this year's college football championship game in Dallas. So stop at the mowing. Let our trained staff show you how your lawn can start paying you. Call for a free quote. Synthetic Turf International.
There's no obligation, so call toll-free at 1-800-200-6120.
Ride on the most treacherous highway in the world to experience the high risk of heavy rescue. Highway Through Hell, Sundays at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 69. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 80. Winds south-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Friday night, partly to mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Winter Storm Iola with a wet side. This is Jackson, Mississippi. Temperatures in the mid-40s. And the rain has really kind of come in earnest. It's going to be nonstop right through rush hour this afternoon and tonight. The rainfall could be very heavy, as it has been in Texas and Louisiana since last night. In Dallas, we picked up over an inch of rain. In San Antonio, almost 2 inches of rain. And along the Texas coast in Angleton, Texas, south of Houston, 3 1/4 inches of rain. This is where the heaviest rain is now. Along this line, low pressure just offshore of the upper Texas coast, moving through southern Louisiana with very heavy rain and thunderstorms. Still, we have some rain back here south of Dallas toward Waxahachie and Waco. This is going to taper off for the most part. We'll be cloudy for the rest of tonight and most of tomorrow. And then we'll finally clear out on Saturday. Perfect timing. A lovely looking weekend coming up, all of Texas. But here's that very heavy rain I was talking about. Low pressure perhaps right in here. Perhaps that center of the little swirl moving toward Cameron, Louisiana. It's raining there, and you're in for some very heavy rain. Here in Houston, the rain is tapering off from west to east, but once again, a cloudy, cold, windy afternoon here on the lower Texas coast, the upper Texas coast. There, your winds gusting over 30 miles an hour routinely, and with winds in the temperatures in the 40s for the most part. Our wind chills are in the 30s. Fortunately, this is just rain. All rain, Louisiana, all rain. Scattered rain, New Orleans, the next couple of hours, then rain and thunderstorms tonight. Moving through Mississippi, Birmingham has already had some rain from the same storm that centered out near Las Vegas, near El Paso. Here we are in New Orleans. Boy, there you go. Wet, windy, stormy is the story. And there's Tupelo and Jackson with some rain out here. Birmingham with some rain. Bessemer also rain. And rain moving into Cedartown just west of Atlanta this evening. You're going to have a wet night in Atlanta and a wet day tomorrow, too. Chances are the heaviest rain will be off to your south, but the temperatures will be just about where they are in Houston, in the 40s all day long. A wet time in the southeast. Both hands on the steering wheel. Alex, back to you.
And then that storm will affect the Northeast. The next one into next week will be coming from the Midwest. Chicago, you'll also enjoy this if you're a snow lover. You'll get through it if you're not. Next Clipper will be bringing snow to the Windy City. Right now, 34. And let's take a look at that next Clipper, talk about what we're watching for and exactly when we'll be seeing that snow. It's going to be a late weekend, early next week event for many of these spots. So Chicago, Saturday night, you're going to begin to see the snow showers late. Sunday, notice snow sticks with you through the day, then cloudy by Sunday night. Enhanced satellite picture, there is that next Clipper. So still out over the Pacific. It's got some ways to travel, but it's coming, and it's going to be coming into a fairly favorable setup because that jet stream dip will bring some colder air to the east and to the Midwest. So the cold air needed for snow, it'll be in play. We've got that area of low pressure tracking off to the southeast, so through the Midwest and then out over the mid-Atlantic coast. By Saturday night, rain and snow in the areas in pink, but for Minneapolis, for Green Bay, for Chicago, it does look like you are looking at snow. Des Moines, you've got rain showers from this one. Rain through parts of Kentucky, southern Indiana, Ohio, much of West Virginia. The rain and snow further up to the north in the pink, and then further up to the north in the blue. That's where you've got snow and snow showers. So Detroit, snowy for your Sunday. By Sunday night, snow in western and central PA, northern New Jersey, southern tier of New York, also northeastern parts of Ohio, including around the Cleveland area. Rain and snow throughout parts of Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. And on Monday, look how we start off the week. Rain and snow for D.C., showers off to the south, but snow for much of the New York City metro area, the Boston area, and even down towards Philadelphia. Dave.
Thanks, Alex. Well, before that snow headache, we've got another weather challenge, Winter Storm Iola. Now, for this storm, 1 degree on the thermometer will make the difference between who gets snow or a cold rain. Ahead, Jim Cantori is with us with his latest thoughts.
She inspires you. No question about that. But your erectile dysfunction? That could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
Honda is about to do something remarkable. We've made the rear view camera a standard safety feature on every single vehicle in our 2015 lineup. Any car, any trim. Because we can all benefit from a better view of the road.
Push it. Push it. Push it real good. Ooh, baby, baby. Baby, baby.
If you're Salt and Peppa, you tell people to push it.
Push it real good.
It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
I'm pushing it real good.
This new year, imagine yourself with skin so clear and beautiful, you feel confident to go after all the things you want. New relationship, dream job, good times with friends. Sound like a good year? Then start now with Proactive Plus, our revolutionary acne treatment that can fix your skin.
That's a huge difference. Look at that. Proactive Plus makes me feel amazingly beautiful.
Proactive Plus is dermatologist developed to help seek out and fix problem areas on your skin. And it's proven to work 4 times faster than the leading prescription. So if you want results, count on it.
This product is doing it. I started seeing results with Proactive Plus within the first week.
This new year, fix your skin. Order Proactive Plus for only $29.95 and we'll rush you 3 free gifts. Results guaranteed or your money back. Plus, Shipping is free. Go to proactive.com/2015 now.
I use Proactive Plus every day. Like, I literally use this stuff.
Atlantic beats Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Jim Cantori joins AMHQ starting Monday on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 69. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, intervals of clouds and Friday night, partly to mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, the Titans of Weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Winter Storm Iola produced some Texas-sized snowfall. When it ended this morning, neighborhoods were buried under a heavy, wet snow, up to a foot in the Panhandle. Now, most people here are used to it. The mail still runs. Most schools only delayed the start of classes today instead of canceling them. But, you know, not everybody was ready for it. Look at this, Dave.
Wow.
And wait for it. Oh, man. This is what happens when you forget about Winter Storm Iola coming and you left the top down on your Jeep.
You know, my father was stationed in Fort Bliss, Texas. El Paso during World War II. Yeah.
Interesting. And, you know, couldn't have been bliss for this Jeep driver.
No.
Who's now going to have to get all that snow out of the car or a very uncomfortable ride.
Or just let it sit. Because the sun's going to come out. It's going to be a beautiful weekend.
But then won't your seats get all wet? Ay. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Alex Wilson.
I can't think of everything for us, Alex.
We tried.
Hey, I'm Dave Schwartz. The snow that Winter Storm Iola produced in Amarillo is, well, it's more than several cities have received all winter. I mean, check this out.
Look at this. Amarillo, 13 inches from Iola. More than Anchorage, Boston, and St. Louis combined. Here's where it's snowing right now. We were just showing you the radar, and we've got snow through parts of New Mexico, also through parts of Texas, Lubbock and Midland and Fort Stockton and Roswell and El Paso, all reporting snowflakes. It's off towards the east, Abilene, San Angelo, where you have rain. Temperatures chilly, though, upper 30s, so it's a cold rain falling into this part of the Lone Star State.
It is nasty traveling on I-10 or I-20.
Yeah.
Through tonight, the Davis Mountains, which is just to the east of Pine Springs, that's where we expect the heaviest snow.
All right, there you have it. Well, Iola arrives in the northeast this weekend. It's going to be a lot stronger when it gets there. So we've got to head out to the obvious guy, right?
Let's do it. Jim Cantori's live in the lab. Jim?
Good stuff, guys. You know, I used to have an old Jeep. It was a 73 CJ5. And because I wasn't the most popular kid in school, they would always take the top off of it. All right? So I would have snow in it whether you liked it or not. That was pretty, finally I just said the heck with it. I'm leaving it off. I mean, just drove around with it in there like that. It was a little chilly, but you know, when you're in 9th to 12th grade, you're pretty much invincible. So it doesn't hurt. It only hurts for a minute. Let's talk about this. There's a little Cantori story in case it comes up on Trivial Pursuit. Still snowing in El Paso, but here's the back side of this. Look at this little element here. Look at this little jet max come right through central Texas here. You see that? Oh, it kind of changes the cloud elements there. But also look at what's happening here back in West Texas. We're seeing our rain echoes changing over to snow. So there you go. Here comes the upper level low. Look for a changeover across western Texas, even into San Angelo as well, as this continues to push on to the east. Just a great description of what's going on with this trough. The eastern side of this, you've got rising air motion. On the west side, showing up here in this orange and red, you have the sinking air motion. That's a classic signature of a trough of low pressure. And here's what we look at in terms of the models, showing you the stronger backside of this thing. Forbes is talking about what happens with this once it interacts interacts with the warm sector and the warm front along the Gulf of Mexico. But as it starts to change its orientation on Saturday, we should see an area of low pressure really intensify as it makes its way up the North Carolina coast, just south of the Cape, and then up in toward Nova Scotia here. And it's because of the way that this trough is oriented. I mean, you go from a positive tilted trough to what we call a negative tilted trough, and there's just so much more rising air motion on the eastern side of that when that takes place. So that's going to allow for explosive development there, especially over those warm Gulf Stream waters. I was looking at the anomalies off the East Coast in terms of the water temperatures, and they're pretty high. Some of the water temperatures still off of North Carolina and the Gulf Stream are in the 70s. So very, very warm water where this low is going to track. And of course, if you're lifting the air over the top of that thing, you're just encouraging it to go up. So we're going to see that low really bomb out. By the way, that little short wave in the flow, that is the next Clipper system that's going to come down for Sunday and Monday across the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. So this is kind of an interesting situation because we really don't have a big high pressure to the north or west of our deepening low. So it's going to almost be like a big, huge vessel just slowly oozing its way up the Mississippi. All right, it's almost going to be like, oh, what's out there? Well, it's going to be a huge storm, and certainly if you're right near it or on the edges, you'll get the wake, right? So that's what we're going to see with this, as opposed to where you have this big, long gradient that stretches across New England and into southern Canada and down the Appalachians, where we'll have these monster gusts. This thing will just kind of come in and come out here. But if you live on the Cape, you'll definitely know that you're near the low because winds will gust over 50 miles per hour. 25 to 30 is the sustained wind we expect by early morning Sunday, and then this thing heads up to Nova Scotia. Obviously, as its wind field intensifies and strengthens, we'll see those winds continuing on the Cape as well as the East Coast and across probably northern New England as well. So here we go. Look for the rain to change to snow probably overnight in Nashville. Saturday morning could wake up to a little bit of the white stuff. Tricky travel. Look for all sorts of precipitation types. Eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina, western Virginia, Kentucky into West Virginia. We may have just about everything in the whole the crock of chili here coming up with that thing. But expect these precipitation amounts to be light, but I want you to be aware of it, especially where it's cold. And then Saturday afternoon, when that low goes by the benchmark, we may see some banding features develop with this low. And that's what you'll typically get with a more intense low pressure system like we're going to see here. And if that happens, and we watch those bands perturbate toward the west, we may see areas where we start to see snowfall rates in the 2 to 4 inch per hour range. Now, it won't be long lasting, and it may just miss southeastern New England, but that's the area that I would really want you to watch out for Saturday afternoon as the low passes on by. Right now, this is the TWC forecast. We don't have bullish amounts in through here, but it looks like we've just added a little 5 to 8 area north and west of Boston, where, by the way, winter storm watches are posted at the present time. So here comes this next trough of low pressure, guys, working its way across the Great Lakes and heading into the northeast. And as it does, it is going to allow for a new low pressure system to develop and make its way off the East Coast. The big question is, how big is it going to be in terms of a snowmaker? But you know what? It may not have to be that big, Alex, because instead of coming in on a Saturday afternoon, it's going to be a Monday morning for many on the East Coast. Back to you.
Absolutely. And so we're going to focus on the timing that Jim just mentioned for the Northeast. This is New York, and this first area on Saturday, this is Iola. We've got the morning commute with some snow, then rain, wrapping up in the evening commute also with some snow. You get a break late Saturday and through a good chunk of Sunday. It's going to be very late on Sunday and then into Monday, including that morning commute time that Jim just mentioned, that we see the snow across the New York City area. So now that we know the now and the when, Dave has the how much.
Yeah, let's fast forward to, say, Friday night at midnight. Here we are in the New York City metropolitan area, and there's going to be a rain-snow line in here somewhere. The precipitation will probably start off as a little snow, then change to rain, and then back to snow on Saturday morning, late Friday night, Saturday morning, and then be gone by Saturday afternoon. 1 to 3, New York City and the island at this point. 3 to 5 back here, Sussex County, New Jersey, up into Orange County, New York, around Monticello. The forecast for Boston is there's your rain, then change to snow early afternoon on Saturday, all afternoon and evening. Saturday, the snow will pile up in Boston with wind.
Mondays at 9, the Weather Channel unearths the investigation.
This was a totally preventable accident.
The mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
And the final moments.
In 1 second, their fellow passengers were sitting there. A second later, they were gone.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
Every Sunday, the Titans of Weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 69. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 80. Winds south-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Friday night, partly to mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Fiber One now makes cookies. Find them in the cookie aisle.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
I have the flu with a runny nose. Better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold won't treat your runny nose.
Really?
Alka-Seltzer Severe Cold and Flu relieves your worst flu symptoms plus runny nose.
Oh, what a relief it is. Mommy!
Didn't you already do all this over there?
Just wait. Parties always end up in the kitchen.
Get more Pepsi and Tostitos with unbeatable prices. Backed by Savings Catcher. Walmart.
Temptation is toast with Special K protein cereal. Each hearty bowl is packed with protein and fiber. Satisfy your hunger with Special K. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Special K chocolate peanut butter protein meal bars are packed with protein and fiber. Satisfy your hunger with Special K.
You know, some people have told me reverse mortgages sound too good to be true. I mean, you get cash out of your home, no monthly payments, and still own your home. There's got to be a catch, right, Jesse? Well, there isn't. It's like any other mortgage, only with a reverse mortgage, the loan's paid back when the last borrower leaves the home. In fact, reverse mortgages are based on a notion that President Reagan signed into law over 25 years ago in order to help seniors remain in their homes. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you may qualify for a government-insured reverse mortgage with AAG that allows you to turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. And with AAG, there are never any income or credit score requirements.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive a new free information kit, including a reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from people like you, and a brand new family guide for children and loved ones, all absolutely free with no obligation.
AAG can help you pay off credit card debt, eliminate monthly mortgage payments, and provide some real retirement security.
Call 1-800-661-0312 today to get your free AAG reverse mortgage information kit and bonus DVD.
In the kits, you'll receive a helpful 3-part guide. The first will show you how a government-insured reverse mortgage allows you to access the equity in your home as tax-free cash. 500,000 people have already done it. The second booklet contains stories told by people just like you who've had their lives changed forever using a reverse mortgage. And the third guide is full of helpful answers and information for children and loved ones.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free.
There's simply an effective way for folks just like you to get the cash you need to enjoy your retirement.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free. Call 1-800-661-0312 now.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
Well, you've heard about Winter Storm Iola. Well, it's still cranking in southern New Mexico, parts of West Texas. The snow continues to come down. Amarillo, Texas picked up 11 inches of snow yesterday. That was a brand new record for the date. We picked up 2 more inches since midnight, 13 inches in Amarillo, Texas. So warm earlier in the week. Now it's a winter wonderland. Meanwhile, something very interesting happened here around Albuquerque. I was checking for snowfall totals, and I found this one spot just to the southwest of Edgewood, New Mexico, 16 inches. That's the most I've seen thus far. But look at this, just 20 miles away in Albuquerque, 1.1 inches. What's there? With a wall? Somebody built a wall? Well, kind of. There's this Sandia Mountains right in here, as high as 10,000 feet. Well, this rising air motion on the upslope side contributed to the heavy precipitation. It was going to snow here no matter what. But in the foothills on the east side, the upslope side, heavy snow. If it were rain, well, it'd be like Seattle's story. We get the heavy rain because we're on the upslope side of the Cascade Mountains. Downslope into Albuquerque, 1.1 inches. Downsloping winds, warm and dry out. We can even see it right now. We still have some strong east winds. Albuquerque, 15-mile-an-hour winds. Look what's happening on the east side of these mountains right here, the Sandia Mountains. Cloudy, it's still snowing. Wind comes over the crest of the mountains, dries out, and the sun is out in Albuquerque. The temperature just rose above freezing for the first time all day. Alex, back to you.
Thanks, Dave. Heavy snow, the kind we saw in the Texas Panhandle in New Mexico, can pose a threat, especially to your home. Meteorologist Mark Elliott takes a look at the weight of snow in a way you have never seen before.
Typically, when you think about snow, you describe it as light or powdery or fluffy. In fact, we all know that just one snowflake weighs next to nothing. But when a lot of snowflakes come down, well, now you're talking about a weight that really adds up. So let's start off with a chore that most people dread during the winter, shoveling this wet, heavy snow. Each year, on average, more than 11,000 people go to the hospital because of injuries suffered while shoveling snow. And when things get covered in this much snow, that's when it can get even more dangerous. Standing inside this room, you wouldn't think I'd have any problems because of snow accumulation, but right above my head, that's where the real danger lies. A cubic foot of snow can weigh around 7 pounds if the snow is dry and fluffy, but could weigh over 20 pounds if it is wet and compacted. Now, 2 feet of snow over this entire roof would weigh 150,000 pounds. The weight above this room alone is the equivalent of 3 full-size grand pianos. That's enough weight to have the roof cave in, and that's why it's so important to remove the snow. And it's not just the flat roofs you have to watch out for. Pitched roofs can accumulate snow as well. Just look at this roof behind me. You get 2 feet of snow up there, and it's the equivalent of 9 heavy-duty pickup trucks on top of the roof. And when that amount of snow starts to slide, it can easily damage or destroy anything in its path. And that's why we tell you to watch out for those snow-covered roofs. Finally, when it comes to describing that sheer force of the weight of snow, nothing describes it more than the power of an avalanche. A typical avalanche can roll downhill at more than 60 miles per hour, bringing with it a wall of snow, ice, and other debris. And once it's rolling downhill, there is nothing that will stop that force from destroying anything in its path. Unfortunately, once those avalanche conditions are in place, it doesn't take much to trigger the event. Some more snow, rain, thunder, even a skier can bring down that avalanche. So next time you're watching those flurries weightlessly fluttering down to earth, remember, if you get too many of those flurries in one place, you can have massive problems. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Mark Elliott.
Very cool, Mark. Thanks a lot. You know, Winter Storm Iola is just the next band in a parade of snowmakers headed for the Northeast U.S. Now, we tracked this snow in D.C. yesterday. Now we're looking ahead, the latest track and impacts for everyone who lives from the Mid-Atlantic to New England. Jim Cantore has more on that next. On the flip side, record high temperatures are likely this week in the West. That's how it goes, you know, the jet stream up and down. It's a wave all the way around the Earth. Well, right in there, in a trough, it's cool. Under a ridge, it's generally warm, as it is right now in Long Beach, California, where it's 74 degrees. Early next week, we're expecting highs 10 to 20 degrees above average, not only here on the West Coast, but in the plains. These storms will be coming down from Canada, and on the west side of them, west winds coming down from the Rocky Mountains will really heat us up in Rapid City and Omaha. Just to look at some of the warmth you can expect late this weekend and to start next week. Up next, it's your local on the 8s.
If you're driving and you can't see clearly for 1 second at 60 miles per hour, you can't see clearly for 88 feet. And a lot can happen in 88 feet. That's why Bosch created the new Icon with ClearMax 365. It's a rubber technology for longer lasting performance, not found on any other wiper blade. Because like you, Bosch cares about what's ahead.
Atlantic beats Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Louisville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Starting Monday, Jim Cantore joins Sam Champion and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here, and that's just Sam.
Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 69. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 80. Winds south-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Friday night, partly to mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. Here we go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
Sir, we're loaded and getting ready to go. We're going to need you on the runway.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back.
Sir?
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
You know, I tried one of those bargain paper towels, but the roll just disappeared. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent, so one roll lasts longer. Bounty, the long-lasting picker-upper.
Testosterone therapy, low T therapy, has been linked to heart attack, stroke, blood clot, or death. If you have used testosterone therapy gels, sprays, patches, or pellet implants and were injured, you may be entitled to a cash award. If you're a male, use prescription testosterone therapy and have suffered a heart attack, stroke, blood clot, or death, call now. You may be in...
My name is Jason, and I work for Comcast. We know the best way to improve is by listening to our customers. That's why we guarantee 2-hour appointment windows, night and day, 7 days a week. With our 97% on-time rate, you'll never have to wait around. And if we're ever late, you'll get a $20 credit. I think we're getting better all the time.
Only Xfinity guarantees 2-hour appointment windows. And with our 97% on-time rate, you can count on us to be there. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
All right, troops, it's pest management weekend.
Weekend!
Kids, you got the lawn. Honey, you got shrubs. And I'll handle the whitefly.
Pest control shouldn't take a weekend. Ambassador Pest Management will keep your lawn and yard growing lush and green with our affordable monthly service. Forget the hassle of pricey do-it-yourself lawn treatments. It's simple. For a beautiful yard, call Ambassador Pest Management. After all, a peaceful home starts with a pest-free home.
To get your grab bags, but you must call 1-800-831-1156 or go online to grabbag.com. Call now.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Work stat compared to...
Okay, we're in the lab. Dave Schwartz along with Jim Cantori. And Jim, you know, on our website, weather.com, we've gotten a lot of notes and letters from kids, from like school-age kids in the Northeast who have had like no snow days. And they're wondering what's going on and why that's happening and when you're going to get your act together.
Yeah, no two winters are created equal, right? I mean,
That's
last
right.
year it was great, it was blockbuster.
Yeah.
This year, forget about it. Look at Boston, only 5.5 inches compared to 19, 9.5 in Hartford. That's not too bad. New York, 3.2. Come on.
Yeah.
Right? Philly. You'd be having a hard time right now, you're right?
2 inches?
You'd be like complaining as well if you were.
Of course I would. I'm complaining now. The child in me is complaining.
The child in you is complaining. So we definitely need some more snow in through here, and we're going to get it. If you look at Philly, New York, Boston, I'll throw Washington's 5.6 on there.
Okay.
We're still below what they've had in Amarillo all year.
That's about 13 inches there.
Yeah, there you
15
go.
in Amarillo.
All right.
Just most of that in the
With
last
one
24
storm.
hours.
Exactly,
Yeah.
one storm. So we're going to change all that for you here a little bit, Dave. San Angelo, if you're watching us, it's raining now, 39 degrees, kind of a raw day. There's a little bit of an end here, we think, to the precipitation, possibly in the form of snow. So maybe a sleet pellet or two or a snowflake, but that's about it. Huge, large-scale rising air motion on the eastern side of this, and looks like a kind of a line of thunderstorms that are developing here in the western Gulf.
So this storm, Iola, is transitioning from a snowstorm, which it was, to now mostly a rainstorm.
And then back to snow. Right, exactly. Big trough of low pressure right in through here. This is a great example, Dave. Lots of rising air motion here on the east side.
Yeah.
The orange and red represent the sinking air. Just shows up classic in through here.
Yeah.
And of course in the middle you've got cold air aloft, so not surprising with that upper cold pocket driving to the east. We're seeing San Angelo actually get close to changing on over to snow. So here goes this trough. It's going to work its way across the Gulf. We're going to let Forbes talk about pretty close to the top of next hour about the severe potential for southern Georgia and on and toward Florida in through here. But this kind of an orientation is going to really allow for tremendous rising air motion. So we're going to watch the low pressure system pretty much bomb out as it makes its way up the Carolina coast and into Nova Scotia. We're going to see it deepen rapidly.
Deepen rapidly, which means strengthening. More wind.
More
heavy
wind.
precipitation.
More wind. The only thing is, though, we don't have a big cold high pressure here or a strong surface high, so you're not going to get a full blown blizzard out of this thing.
And those are some of the big questions here.
Right.
Is because the air isn't cold enough to say there's no doubt this is going to be a snowstorm.
But because this is going to allow the low to deepen rapidly, it'll produce its own cold air in the column.
I see.
Okay, so we'll see snow on the back side of this. Again, it's almost like a big vessel going slowly through a river here. There'll be a little wake at the shoreline in terms of the wind, but really the low itself in terms of the pressure field is going to be quite strong. So if you're right near the low or out toward, let's say, Cape Cod, you'll have 50-mile-per-hour gusts.
Yeah,
But if you're in Worcester County, there won't be hardly any wind at all.
And this is going to be a pretty fast mover.
It is going to be very fast.
Yeah.
By Sunday morning, it's over for everybody. Nashville, if you're looking for snow, maybe Saturday morning you wake up to a few flakes.
Because the upper trough goes over that, just like in West Texas
Just like in
right
West
now.
Texas. Exactly, San Angelo. Up through western parts of Virginia, Tennessee, we're looking certainly at rain changing on over to snow there. They've got advisories out for that now. Winter storm watches, not including Boston, at least yet. But that's where it could get tricky, because when this low blows up off the coast here, it can tend to produce what we call banding features. And if those banding features right out off toward the north and west, they could set up over parts of interior New England. All of a sudden, our 4 to 7 inches or our 3 to 5 becomes 8, 10 inches of snow.
Okay.
All right. So that's one thing I want you to caution for.
Yeah.
And that's Saturday evening,
okay,
right towards sunset. That would be the time where I would encourage you to just kind of stay off the roads in case that happens, because that'll shut things down. We've added a little 5 to 8 area. You'll notice that right up there into the north shore of Boston. There it is at closer in. So, 93, 95 here, Lowell, Danvers, back toward the west, toward 495, a little 5 to 8 spot. That's where we're confident now that we may see perhaps a little bit of that banding develop. Then, as that storm begins to exit, here comes the Clipper. Jury's still out on this, but instead of a Saturday afternoon snow, now you've got potentially a Monday morning snow in the big cities.
Plenty of reasons to tune into the Weather Channel, especially if you live in the Northeast. Jim Cantore live in the lab. Thank you so much, my friend.
Pleasure.
Your local on the 8s coming up.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 69. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 80. Winds south-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Friday night, partly to mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Listen to that wind. This is what you heard if you were in Amarillo, Texas overnight. This is Winter Storm Iola blew into town.
You know, of course you hear the wind. You're driving at 45 miles an hour.
And you've got the window maybe cracked.
Yeah.
Still, I guess, bragging rights. We'll give him that. He was out there. They were braving it. And then folks woke up to a slushy mess, up to a foot of wet snow in the Texas Panhandle, across New Mexico. And, this is just the beginning of this system.
That's that greasy, slushy snow. You
get it on your jeans and the salt and the muck.
And shoveling it. Yeah, be careful. Winter Storm Iola now has its sights set on the East Coast. Same storm. And we expect it to get a lot stronger before it gets there. Now, this is how much snow we could get. The darker colors of 3 to 6, 6 to 8, but there are still some big questions that need to be answered today that may have a big impact on this map and your life, my friend. Thanks for joining us on Weather Center Live. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Here's the big point from Winter Storm Iola. Timing is everything. So we know there's a potential for heavy snow along the eastern seaboard, but the big question is, will that cold air get there, and will there be enough for it?
Well, what cold air is there, that's it.
Right.
That's all it has. It'll bring with it some cold air, too. Jim Cantore shows you the ingredients coming up. Right now, most of the Winter Storm Iola is in the warm air, so we've got a lot of heavy rain just outside of radar in the southeast. But in West Texas and New Mexico and even northern Mexico, it's coming down in the frozen form.
Exactly. We've got rain off towards the east. Abilene, 37 with rain. Yuck. Not a great afternoon drive for you. In Snyder, Texas, this is one of the spots that has now seen that changeover from rain to snow. There they are, wet roads, but flakes beginning to fall. 33 degrees there in Snyder.
Winter Storm Iola. Wow, and we even had thunder snow, which caught many people by surprise last night. Check this out.
Well, we had it, if you saw it earlier.
I think I heard it. I think I heard it.
There it was. And you know, when we think thunder snow, we think of our guy, Storm Tracker Jim Cantore. So let's send it out to the lab, get a look at what's happening with Iola. We know this is part one, really, Jim, as we get into the weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, too, because we're not just watching a clipper system here with this. We're watching something that's already a low-pressure system in the western Gulf. It's going to travel all the way across southern Georgia and South Carolina, off the North Carolina coast, and up toward Nova Scotia, really by Sunday morning. So it's going to be hauling along. And, of course, with it, some pretty changeable weather, especially for parts of the Mid-South, mainly the southern and middle Appalachians, and then up into the Northeast as well, all the way toward the coastline. So with that in mind, just like here at the Weather Channel, the Weather Service is watching what's going on. They've got winter storm watches posted for parts of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, including Hartford and Springfield, not Boston. These are winter weather advisories for the whole crock of chili down through here. Could be some sleet, could be some freezing rain, certainly ending as snow as that upper cold pocket comes over. That'll be something I encourage everybody to watch on Saturday morning in the southern Appalachians. As that upper low goes over, just like Dave did a great point, like we're seeing near San Angelo right now, we could go rain to snow. And if there's enough moisture there, it may be an abrupt changeover, an intense burst, if you will. So here you go. Fitchburg, Worcester, Hartford. It looks like they've added Waterbury to the counties here and through, because I didn't see it off to the west earlier on. But notice the coast of Connecticut, Providence is out of it, Boston also out of it here in terms of the actual winter storm watches. With these, obviously, the metro parts of the metro area are in it. So here's that upper low. Notice the change over here. We're going from greens to blues. That's the rain changing to snow there. Here's an area of thunderstorms that's trying to develop here off into the western Gulf. Not surprising. That's going to work its way all the way across the Gulf of Mexico as we go through tonight. And just a great example of this large upper trough here. Rising air motion on the east side. You see that there with the more dense, if you will, colors and obviously moisture. And then on the back side of this, you have the sinking air as this piece of the jet stream here begins to work its way through the bottom side of this trough, or at least the southwest side of it. And there's the upper low. As that travels off to the east, get ready for that changeover from rain to snow. So here goes this jet stream helping to take this positively tilted trough and swing it around to negative tilt. And as it does that, you actually increase the ascent intensities on the eastern side of this thing. So you've got a low that essentially bombs out or explodes in terms of its deepening processes all the way from North Carolina on up into Nova Scotia. I mean, we're going to watch this thing really bomb out. And then here comes the next clipper. Next wave right in through here. That's going to roll its way along in the flow. Jury's still out as to exactly what we're going to see with that. But if you're going to work on a Monday morning, don't be surprised to have snow in New York or even in Philadelphia or maybe even D.C. and Baltimore. That's Monday morning. So here's this low bombing out as a result of this negative tilt process. 975 millibars just past the benchmark. Looks like, again, a little enhanced snowfall potential as this is happening right in this region, right in through here. If we get some of these banding features that develop with this and perturbate back toward the west, we could have a brief period of intense snowfall rates. If. Those are things right now that the models don't pick up on, but we just know because of the way this is deepening, it's a possibility. Here's the next clipper. That's Monday's weather, essentially, for the East Coast into early Tuesday. So if we're going to see a changeover in Nashville, I think you're going to have to get up pretty early on Saturday morning to see that. We'll go from rain to snow, and certainly that's we're calling for it on Friday night, but I really think it's more of an overnight Friday into Saturday morning process. Saturday, again, watch out around Knoxville, Asheville, Winston-Salem, Blacksburg. This is where the upper low comes across, especially early in the day. And then Saturday night, that low again passes on by the Boston area. If we see those banding features come back, things get interesting and we increase our totals probably from 4 to 7 inches to potentially higher. You notice we added a little 5 to 8 here to the north and west of Boston inside the 495. Not surprising. D.C., you seem to be out of this one. Baltimore, you're in it. Philly, you're in it. New York, you're in it, but not much here and not much more certainly than we've seen so far with our seasonal totals. After all this, and actually at about the same time, we'll watch snow break out in Chicago late Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then this low pressure system scoots on off toward the east for Monday's weather in the northeast. But of course, this time we're talking about the potential here, guys, for it being much, much colder from the start. There won't be any rain snow line issues, I don't think, on Monday morning. And then here's this deep trough that we're going to have to deal with after that, which certainly means cold weather will continue to funnel on into the mid-Atlantic states. And we'll see how long it lasts after that. The plains, the southwest, warm and mild here in late January. Guys, back to you.
I thought it would be fun, so I went on Ancestry.com, and this little leaf gave me a hint, and that led me to another leaf and another hint. I was like the family detective. Then I found out that one of my ancestors actually was a detective. So I'm like the other family detective.
Visit Ancestry.com and discover the world's largest online family history resource.
You don't have to know what you're looking for. You just have to start looking.
Your discovery starts right now on Ancestry.com.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with efficiency? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details. How do you make cancer a thing of the past? Well, you use the past. Huntsman Cancer Institute has combined 300 years of family histories with health records to discover inherited genes for melanoma, breast, colon, and ovarian cancers, so we can predict and treat cancer, and sometimes even prevent it from happening in the first place. To learn more or support the cause, go to huntsmancancer.org.
Thrilled to have Jim Cantore on the show. He's been through like 80 tropical systems.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantore joins Sam Champion and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ starting Monday.
Currently. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 69. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 80. Winds south-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Friday night, partly to mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Introducing Aleve PM, the PM pain reliever that dares to work all the way until the AM. New Aleve PM. It's the first to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour strength of Aleve for pain relief that can last all the way until morning. New Aleve PM for a better AM.
Progresso. I can't believe I'm eating bacon-enriched creamy cheese before my sister's wedding.
Well, it's only 100 calories, so you'll be ready for that dress.
Uh-huh.
You don't love the dress?
I love my sister.
40 flavors, 100 calories or less.
Apples are good. As Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
We take you to New Orleans, the French Quarter to be exact, where rain has been moving through. This from the wet side of Winter Storm Iola.
Yeah, let's check out tonight's forecast for the Crescent City. Rain, 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 and rain. And thunderstorms, yeah. And chilly, actually.
Yeah, cold. We've got temperatures in the 40s through the evening. So, a chilly rain. 50s early, but actually, I guess 40s into the overnight, early morning hours. So, but low 50s still. Walking around in the rain, not going to be super pleasant.
Right.
And as Iola tracks along the east or Texas coast, off the Texas coast, it will produce more storms and heavy rain along the Gulf Coast.
And severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes is here to pinpoint the areas at greatest risk today and tomorrow. Dr. Forbes.
And we'll definitely have a severe weather threat tomorrow, especially the Florida Panhandle, as a low pressure begins to pull in some warm, moist air off the Gulf of Mexico. Some of the beginning edges of the rain are coming into the Gulf Coast states right now. Kind of a scary picture out of Mississippi. Some wave clouds there. Let's take a look at that one. You can see there the waves that are going up and down. That's sort of associated with a stable layer that's present there. A little bit of the frontal zone coming through aloft, and then some rain began to come in. A little bit of evaporation of that. Some of that cooling then can begin to cause some up and downward motions in that stable layer. If this were a little bit more chaotic, we might call these the new type of cloud form, undulatus asperatus. But at any rate, there's some big up and down excursions that are taking place there in the course of this beginning of the onset of the rain there in Mississippi. Now, in terms of the severe weather threat, let's take a look here back to the graphics. This red shaded area anywhere from Mobile Bay, and that could be early in the afternoon, across the Florida Panhandle, and even a little bit of extreme southeast Alabama, southwest Georgia, a chance of a damaging wind gust, maybe even an isolated tornado or two as this warm front comes.